Okay, so what I want to talk to you guys today is about a little application, little tool that might help you guys out. It's this little file here called Pro Panel Parts List Configurator. And what that file actually looks like, it looks like a little bit like this. So basically here what I have is I have a list of components that I would like to put on my backplate. I don't necessarily want to do the schematics right away. I'd like to have these guys in the panel shop start building this already beforehand. So basically in this list, which is pretty simple Excel sheet, I got my full DT, so I got all my DTs, device tags here assigned, and I have here a column for level. If you have multi-level terminals, you can assign them here. You also have a column for the parts, for the part numbers. So these part numbers will be reflected for these components, will be added to these particular components in my schematic. And of course, if these part numbers are in your parts management with all the information required, macros, dimension, and everything's going to work. When I click on this button, this is just a little button that that was done already. Export this device list, and what this is going to do, this is going to actually export this list right here. Okay, let me get the right one. Yeah, so basically here you have this file that it's going to generate. It's a basic text file, and what it looks like, it just looks like pretty much what my Excel file looks like, except it's in a format that EPLAN will be able to read in. So based on that, I'm going to bring up EPLAN. So here I have a basic project, and this basic project doesn't have any devices, it doesn't have any pages, so I just have one page, which is my title page, nothing else really. So basically here what I'd like to do is I'd like to import all those components from that list. To do so, I'm going to go under project data, I'm going to go under devices, and here I have import. And when I bring this dialog up, I can pick the file name, which is my little text file that I selected from before. That's the one I want. You got some settings here for the import setting. It's very basic. The assignments, you have those basic 3 assignments that I brought in before, which was the DT, the part number, and the level. You also have other ones for function category groups and function definitions, a little bit more elaborate, but these 3 main ones here pretty much will do the trick. Those are the only options you have nothing else. Under options, you have different separators, blanks, tabulators, and so on and so forth. So we don't need to deal with that. I brought in the tabulator. That's my separator that my Excel file or my text file uses. So hit OK. Hit OK to this. So he's going to bring in all this stuff from my text file. Import has been successful. Great. So I see now here I got my fuses, F, 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 and here I got some components assigned to these fuses. This one even has an adapter attributed to it, so stuff that probably go on a bus bar. Okay, so now that I have my components or my devices on here on my device list, now what I can do is, if I go back to my panel, I'm not going to draw the schematics. I'm going to do that later on. I don't really need to bother with that. Really want to get this panel done. So from here, I'm in my panel layout. So in my 3D panel layout, Pro Panel, for those of you who are not really familiar with it. Now basically in Pro Panel, I have this basic panel already made, and it's a basic retail panel. I'm just going to bring in the front view. So I got the front view. I got a couple of wire ducts in here, and some of those components that I mentioned earlier sit on a bus bar system. So basically, one thing that you can do, what's kind of nice now, is if you go under into the data portal. So for those of you who know the data portal very well, you have some components that are already residing there. So basically here what I'm looking for is I'm looking for some retail components. So I got this retail PLS S1600 that I want to bring in. So I'm just going to search for it. By the way, most of the retail components you have a lot of, and you have all those accessories and so on and so forth already made in the portal with all the 3D graphics and all the nice stuff that you need. So here I'm going to just download the part. So basically what it's going to do, which is kind of nice, you'll notice you have the part information, the rail information, you have the support information, you also have the macro that comes in, and also the outline. So the outline for that rail system is all going to come in, so I don't have to worry all about that. Just bring it in from the data portal. So now this component is going to bring it in. It's going to stick to my mouse, and I'm going to be able to select here, and no, Okay, so now basically here I have the bus bar system that I downloaded from the data portal. So by hitting the A key on my keyboard, I can cycle through the different snap points. I'm going to grab that one right there. Right click here, I'm going to go to placement options, and here I want to say a placement of -100 because I really want to be smack dab from the top up here. So I'm going to select that corner right there and bring it over to this side to the edge right here. Click. It's going to ask me how many bus bar supports I want, so I'm going to say 3. Say OK, and now here I have my bus bar system with the 3 supports, so that's kind of nice. I don't have to worry about bringing these components one at a time. The components come in really nicely. If I do my rotate views, it's going to look really good when I do my model views. Okay, so once that's done, and I can now start bringing in some additional, I probably need some more wire ducts in this here, so I'm going to grab some wire ducts, and you'll notice that I'm just going to place them randomly. So I'm just going to do that like that, very simple, very basic. And grab some rails, grab some thin rails, slap one here, slap one there, slap one there, very random. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I can actually highlight all the stuff that I want, and you have a property here under graphics. You have here fit rails and wire ducts. So I can click here, and I want to fit those rails and those wire ducts to this edge right here. Click. So they're going to snap to that, and I'm going to go over here, snap to this edge right here. There you go. So now that the rails and the ducts have been nicely placed, what I can do now also is I can select these guys, and I want to say here on the graphics, under other, you have space evenly vertically. So I'm going to space them evenly, and there you go, they're all nice and spaced. So drawing this backplate with this bus bar support system was very, very, very quick. Okay, so now once that's done, what I want to start doing now, since I brought that stuff in, I can start dropping in my components. So I'm going to grab my fuses. I know these 2 fuses go actually here. Oh, that's the device navigator, so I'm going to turn that off actually, and I got my 3D mounting layout, so I'm going to grab from here the 3D mounting layout navigator, similar to the 2D layout navigator. So here I pick the components I want, it sticks to my mouse, drop the first one. Those 2 are going to go in together. I know that the fuse that I have here has a support system, so I can grab this guy and I can place it onto my support system here. Okay, snap it to that guy right there. And this guy, I'm going to drop it in onto my snap point here, and grab the middle button right there, slap it right in the middle. So that's my support system that sits on my bus bar, and drop that component in. Similar for the other, for these overloads, I can do the same thing. I can put this guy here. Those 2 are going to go there. And these guys here are probably going to go one on top of the other. Oh, roll tab. I'm going to slap that guy in the middle. I think the other one's going to snap together, so I can actually use my move functions. Move it, change the snap point to the middle, snap it to the middle of that one. There you go. So as you go along, you can start dropping these components really quickly without necessarily having to draw up the schematics. You don't have to get too elaborate with doing all those. I'm going to drop in my terminals. Okay, I should clean that up a bit, but it's just a question of changing the display format. So anyway, as you can see here, you have the different ways of dropping in your components into your panel without necessarily having to be forced to do the schematics right off the bat. So now I can start to fiddle around with the different other components that I want to place here and there, and I can even use my routing format. For those of you who are using ProPanel Professional, you can actually have all this automatically routed and so on and so forth. Alright, that'll be another video I'll do, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If anything, comment, let me know. Take care, bye.